Coming back to campus, everybody was congratulating us, even people I'd never even seen or met before, and that was super cool.
To be sort of recognized as having done something for your school by their peers, that was cool and fun to hear about.
We have our first practice and it's flooded with media. The governor of New Jersey stops by to visit us, and you start in those moments realizing how special what you just accomplished really is.
I give everybody credit. They were still able to get in early and get their extra work done and then do some media stuff.
To highlight, not only what you're doing, but more so your teammates and, the school, and put them on that spotlight. That was a great opportunity to do that.
Getting ready to leave for Louisville, there was a send-off that the athletic department had put together.
We're getting on the bus to go to Louisville, and there's like 1,000 people there.
It was packed and it was loud and there was music and all this cheering and everything, so it was a great feeling for them to send us off.
It was a moment that I'll never forget. The community comes together and supports something that we've worked all year on, and really for some of us we've worked our whole career on.
You realize that you're going through something that you'll never forget, and no one can ever take it away from you.
Princeton took Louisville over. There were thousands of people there. Obviously our old teammates were there. Other alums showed up too. It just felt like it was a Princeton event and not March Madness.
Everyone that I spoke to who's familiar with the university has said it was like reunions at a basketball game. The level of pride, the level of excitement, it's something unlike this institution has ever seen before.
I make my way down the lobby and I am bumping into literally every player that I ever coached at Princeton. Some of their families, other alums, and that was really eye-opening to me, how big a deal this was to so many other people and how special it was for me to share that moment.
Sophomore guys like Jalen and Drew, knowing they have our back. And just to see Princeton alums who are not even basketball players were so supportive and just so happy to be there. They were so proud for the school.
The nerves are starting to build a little bit. You got butterflies in your stomach. You're about to play in the Sweet 16. And just to see the support from everybody, it kind of calms everyone down and just makes us think all right, we got this. We got the fan support behind us. Let's go make them proud.
There was no distraction to the group's overall mission, the goal of the group. There was no distraction. And that allows the energy and the focus of the group to be focused on what's important, and that's getting better today, pushing through something that we went through that was difficult, and that just happened at the right time.
Princeton Tigers basketball continues their historic run in the Sweet 16 from the KFC Yum Center in Louisville, Kentucky. It's the Princeton Tigers at 23-8 on the season, taking on the Creighton Blue Jays, 23-12.
We just had a great confidence and belief in one another, and we kind of felt like nothing was stopping us.
I definitely think that we belonged in that game and in that moment.
We finally got to that point where we were playing really well with each other. We were all playing to our strengths. By the time we got to Louisville and the Creighton game, anything could happen.
At this point you realize that you're supposed to be here and you can win, and why not keep going?
This team is so tough and so resilient. There's just this belief to win, and when things go awry, we always think we can hang in the game, and that toughness is applicable to our resiliency.
It was grit that took us over the edge. That grittiness, that toughness, that willingness to do the extra play, the extra effort, whatever it took to win the game.
Fadeaway jumper, goes on a Walmart. Beautifully done. Cutting wide open is Caden Pierce, who hammers it home. Catch and shoot. Peters connects from behind the arc. Tigers up 37-33. Walmart straight on three. That hit. Alako, step back jumper. Got it. Outside Langford. Checked by Kalkbrenner. Drives right by him. Scoop layup and score. Ryan Langford. Strong finish with the right hand.
He's been spectacular.
Long three by Langford. Banked in.
We were right there for a lot of the game. We showed our scoring capabilities, how difficult we are to guard. It got away from us a little bit at the end, but I think it really came down to a few plays throughout the game. And unfortunately, we were on the wrong side of that, and probably the wrong side of the momentum as well. But it was cool to play in that type of game with that type of team that we matched up well with, and show people what we could hang.
One of the great seasons in the history of Princeton University basketball has come to an end in the Sweet 16.
I think now some of these guys, as they go on, will start to appreciate what they did. Because when they're in the moment, they believe they can win this game. So you don't get to sit back and relax and kind of look at what you did, but just a spectacular performance by them all season long.
The support after the Creighton game was overwhelming, to be honest. You know, everyone's congratulating you, and I honestly, and I know some of my other teammates were kind of in the same boat. We were like we didn't win. Like, what do you mean? Like, you guys all came to watch us on this stage, and we couldn't get it done for you. That's kind of how we felt, but you quickly realize that's not what it was about.
I didn't expect there to be people waiting for us when I got off the bus, and then we walked in and guys were kind of coming in one at a time, so every single time a guy came in it was kind of like a standing ovation, and they were just so proud of us, and just to see the genuine support and how much everybody cared about us was so cool.
Everywhere you turn, there's somebody who's really excited about what we accomplished this season, who wants to give you a hug. People were so happy, and we really could feel that emotion. We could feel that we had done something special.
It's all I've ever wanted, to do something that would make the alums and the school and all the former players very happy, very proud on a national stage.
We couldn't have gotten to where we did without Coach Henderson. I think the biggest challenge this year was that our team was so different than last year. And I think we spent a couple games figuring that out a little bit, but once we kind of got into a rhythm, he realized just how tough our team was. And being in timeouts and him calling specific plays and stuff, that always goes under the radar, but when we need a bucket, he seems to always call the right play.
Coach always says you want to be playing your best basketball in March, you want to be playing your best basketball at the end of the season. That's really what happened, and you know, that's because of the way he coaches us, you know, what he demands of us, and he's never satisfied and he never allows you to be satisfied. He always kind of demands more. So that's what you do, you know, you give more and you give more when you don't think you can, and you know, it inspires like that culture amongst the team.
Obviously, I'll remember the March Madness run, but I think most of the things I'm going to remember aren't even from the games. It's all the times in the hotel rooms, watching movies, all those moments, those long bus rides, like those are the moments I think I'll never forget and cherish, on top of kind of being in the trenches with the guys, but it's those other moments that really made the journey special.
You know, it's been the best year of my life. The success, obviously, but you know, aside from that, just the way that we've done it, I think, what we've represented, you know, for each other, for the university.
It gets better every day. Every day I look back on that, I have a greater appreciation for how special that is. It is without question the culmination of years and years of work.
We say that you can compete at the highest level academically and athletically here, and our men's and women's basketball teams continue to prove that over and over. And I think what the Sweet 16 run did was to elevate the truth of that to a national and really global platform.
We made March Madness. That's hard enough as it is in the Ivy League to come out and play in that. And then you get to have this historic upset that not a lot of teams have been able to do, the 15 over the 2. We did that all in 1 year, and it was a magical ride.
What makes it so special is the group that we did it with. A group of guys that collectively came together, that put in the work, that got through adversities, and for them to stay together, connected, and then to accomplish what they did for themselves, this program and the university, that's something that you can't put into words.
The things on the court, like practice and like working out and all that stuff helps, but the thing that really brought us through was our togetherness.
To be around a team that supports each other like that and loves to see everyone succeed is something that you never forget. It's a bond that you'll have forever.
The first thing that comes to mind is like the selflessness of the style of play and like the lack of ego, I think, and we've been that the whole time I've been here, just being genuinely happy for one another and wanting, you know, the person next to you to succeed.
It's a big page turning moment. We did Coach Carroll very proud. I remember when I arrived here, I wanted to do something of significance the way that the good teams had done before me. And this group has done something for the future generations of Princeton basketball.
The March Madness experience was unlike anything in the world, in my opinion. All those teams that you see growing up and just say, like, that's the coolest thing, like, that was us.